if we're given the graph and we want to write the equation, we need two things to write the equation of a line. We need M and we need B. So we're trying to find our M and our B, and then we'll have everything we need to write the equation, because I could replace the M and the B and I've got my equation. On these ones, they're going to give you the y-intercept in the graph. Now we'd have to do a little bit more work if they didn't, but that's another day. Okay, so when you look at this, the very first thing you should notice is where is it crossing the y-axis? This one is crossing the y-axis at -2. So that means that the B is -2. This one is crossing at -3. So for this line, the B is -3. This one here, oops, you can't really see it. Try that again, sorry. Seconds. Okay. This one is crossing at -1. So my y-intercept, my B is -1. Okay, then after that, we need to find our slope, and slope is rise over run. It doesn't matter if you start at this point and go to this point, or start at this point and go to this point. I usually go with the point on the left and move to the point on the right, just because I read from left to right. But just because I'm doing it that way doesn't mean you couldn't go the other direction. So if I start at this blue dot and I want to move over to this one, the first thing I'm asking myself is how much am I going to have to rise? And if I'm going to rise, my options are up or down. So if I go up, I'm going to be heading towards the red one, but if I go down, I'm going away from it. So I'm going to rise and I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to rise 4, and now I'm going to run. My options are right and left, and right is positive. So I'm going to go right 2, so rise 4, run 2, and my slope is 4/2. Now you can simplify that. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so my final slope is going to be 2. They have highlighted 2 specific points, but you can use any point on the line. And the closer the points are together, the less simplifying. So for example, I can't really tell where this point is because it's kind of in between, but this point right here is clearly over at 1, 0. So instead of going all the way up to the red, if I wanted to, I could rise 2 and run 1. So instead of going rise 4, run 2, 4/2, I could rise 2, run 1. And of course, either one of these simplifies to 2. So you don't have to feel like you have to use the highlighted points. You can use any ones you want. And the closer the points are together, the less simplifying you'll need to do. Okay, now that I have my M and my B, then I have the equation of my line, y equals m, so y equals 2x plus b, and that's -2, so -2, and I've got my equation. Okay, so let's find the m on this one. I want to know, how am I going to move from this point to this point? So I'm saying rise. I'm going to need to go down, not up. So rise down 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go down 4, run 1, 2, 3, 4. So down 4, right 4. So So rise, down 4, negative 4, right 4, positive 4, and negative 4 divided by positive 4 is negative 1. If you use that trick, notice these 2 points are right next to each other. They're very close together. So I could go rise 1, run negative 1, and 1 over negative 1 is negative 1 also. Okay, so I'm going to replace the m with negative 1, but when you replace the m with negative 1, a negative is all I need. I don't need to put a negative 1. And then minus 3. Okay, so last one here, I'm starting here at my negative 1. I need to move. I'm going to start at this red dot. So I want to go down 2, rise negative 2, run positive 4. So rise negative 2, run 4. Negative over positive is negative, so I have a negative fraction, and 2 over 4 simplifies to 1/2. If you picked a point closer like this one, I could say rise negative 1, run 2, and I wouldn't have had to simplify. Let's go ahead and insert the y-intercept and the slope, so y equals negative 1/2 x minus 2.